This is Top Shop Podcast.
Shop Podcast.
Top Shop Podcast.
Podcast for automotive service business owners by Paul Donahue.
Hey, Top Shop Podcast listeners. Got Dane Parker, beautiful state of Kansas. So obviously you go to Vision, right?
Yes, I do. It's pretty close. Really handy.
Yep. So you can just drive. So he owns Dane's Automotive for 27 years. So always looking for people with the kind of experience that you've got so we can record it for all posterity. We wanted to get as many shop owners that have been in business over 10 years on our podcast. That was a great criteria when my wife found out that only 4% of shops make it that far. Do you know that?
No, I did not know that.
You are what we call a 4%er. So your experiences and insights are, exactly what we're looking at. So before I hit the record button, you had mentioned that you've owned Dane's for 27 years and right out of high school. So that I haven't heard that before. That's really different. I mean, you were 18, 19 years old and opened your own shop?
Yeah, I did. I was kind of an entrepreneur my whole life, and I grew up farming, and I started working on people's vehicles in high school. Probably freshman year, people bring them out to the farm and drop them off, and I just kind of started a little business out there, and it grew a little bit. And so we just happened to acquire a building in town, and my mom's like, hey, you could try something there if you wanted to, and kind of took off from there.
Awesome. So what were there any like really difficult challenges in the very beginning when you first opened?
No, I didn't know enough to know if it was a challenge or not. So no, it all worked pretty well, and been pretty blessed with my family helping me out. And the only challenge I had was staying awake at Votech so I could learn enough to make it worth my time. But just because I was working at night, running the shop at night and going to school during the day.
All right. So that sounds like a lot of shop owners burning the candle at both ends. So any advice on work-life balance?
My wife had to teach me that part because I didn't have that. Growing up as a farmer, all I did was work all the time. And so I really didn't know that until I got married and had to figure that out a little bit.
Yeah, you wouldn't be the first one to tell me that. Yeah, my wife helped me with that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first one to tell me that. So yeah. So but what I hear the most, I'm a bottom line guy, is line in the sand. So our wives sometimes help us with that. Look, after 7 o'clock, I don't care what's going on over there. You can deal with that tomorrow. But it is, normally a part of it. So have you had any mentors that have really helped you? Because you went from high school to owning and running a business. So leadership skills, financial skills, management skills.
So just figured it out as I went. And I always liked to read a lot. So I gathered all the information I could and started going to Vision. And as soon as I heard about it, and then also I've read a lot of books on leadership, management, and stuff like that from the beginning, and kind of got me good enough to where I needed to be and kind of kept me progressing. So,
all right. Okay. So you mentioned Marysville is 600 people.
Waterville is.
Okay. And the other Maryville
is about 3,500.
Oh, 3,500 is a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay. And you service both cities?
Yes, I have I have 2 locations now.
Oh, you have 2 locations. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay. How long have you had the second location?
Since 18.
Oh, since 2018. Oh, for a while then. Okay. Awesome. So, you pretty much locked up the market in your area? Got any competitors?
Yeah, I got some competitors. We are about the only shop that's doing a lot of the major work, and I just bought an ADOS machine, so we're the only one probably in the county that even does that. Right.
Okay. So you guys are the go-to shop for that. Yeah. That was actually my next question. What change? You've been in it for 27 years. What changes have you seen in the auto repair industry over the last 5 to 10 years? What are the big shifts that you're seeing?
The technology is advancing so fast, it's just hard to keep up with. And I'm not as computer savvy as I should be. And so I'm looking for younger generation to kind of help me out, and I've hired one guy about 5 years ago, and he's really pretty good at it. But then I'm hiring a kid right out of high school now. He's going to kind of start working here Monday,
Okay.
and he's got pretty good computer savvy, so I'm hoping to get him trained pretty well and have him help me out and kind of lead that department.
Okay. All right. That's good. So what about where you think the industry might be going? Now you're in a rural area, so let me guess, you're not seeing a lot of Teslas. Maybe probably a couple hybrids. Are you seeing some hybrids at all?
Yeah, we get about maybe one or two a month.
Oh, that's okay. All the rural areas are very internal combustion, so especially with the V8s, right?
Yeah,
Pickup trucks and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, I know it would just be guesswork and conjecture, but do you have any guess where we might be heading? Because according to Governor Newsom, we'll all be electric by 2030. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. We have no infrastructure, but we'll be all electric by 2030.
Yeah.
But we got hydrogen hybrids. We have solid state battery technology coming out. Jetsons one of these days, the anti-gravity machines. I don't know. Ask Elon Musk. But what do you think? Where do you think we're going in the next 10 or 20 years?
That's a good question. I really don't know. As far as what I'm surrounded with, I
Mhm.
can't see anything past what we got right now, other than just getting bigger and better, and hopefully there's a course correction where everything's not over engineered eventually here, because everything's getting so expensive to work on. It's just killing people.
Right.
This,
Well, that's corporate greed.
you know.
Yeah. So, but it's biting them in the butt. You know, auto sales are a tad slow. Gee, I wonder why. I don't want a $1,000 a month payment on a pickup truck that costs $85,000. So
Yeah.
what did they think was going to happen? Do you see a lot of diesel where you're at?
I do.
Uh,
Diesel. Actually, growing up on a farm, I almost work on everything. So I got a dozer sitting out here right now, and
oh, do you really? Okay.
yeah, and skid loader, and
Oh, really? People
yeah,
bring you skid loaders and all that.
pull everything in here, and then
Dane can fix it.
yeah, pretty much. And farming, I have my own excavators and semis and stuff like that. And so I was always had them in here working on sprayer, and people just kind of seeing that.
Okay. So, there's 20 some years ago, if I would have came to you and said, "Hey, Dane, tell me about the culture in your shop," I think you would have gave me the deer in the headlights look. Culture? Don't they put that in yogurt? But anyway, now, it's like a really important, it's a really important aspect of any business. But culture can slip pretty quick. You just have one employee that bad apple spoils the thing,
Yeah.
say. But just any tips on how you maintain culture in your shop, a good culture in your shop?
First thing, I put people first over money, and so it's not always profitable, but especially customers, and so that makes everything kind of easier to deal with. I give the office managers $500 to just, if you need to make customer happy with that much money, go ahead, call me if it's any more than that.
Okay.
And so, because you can't run customers off in a town with 600 people.
No, it's probably not a good idea.
No, so I've always kind of worked with people pretty well, and sometimes to my own detriment, because everybody knows you and they want you to charge to them for a while, and that just kind of not got me in trouble, but just got me behind for a while. And so I've kind of cleaned that up a little bit.
Good. Yeah, you're not a bank. You're not a repair shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then for everybody's birthday, we go out to lunch, and
Oh, cool. All right.
and it takes a while for the two shops to kind of get together and get their schedules together, and so we kind of plan it a little bit ahead of time.
Okay.
Kind of wherever the birthday person wants to eat, we go do that.
Okay.
Usually happy go lucky, pretty cheerful people we hire. if you can just kind of tell their demeanor when you bring them in and know if they're going to be a right fit pretty quick or not.
Hmm.
And if there's a bad apple, it spoils a bunch like that. We had one,
Hmm.
we had, it just wasn't working out. And so he was a pretty good tech, but yeah.
Yeah, I've always heard that they was a pretty good tech, or they were a really good CSR person. They sold lots of jobs. Had to let them go. And then I always hear the same thing. We kept them too long, oftentimes, and I wish we would have done it sooner. So, yeah, that's wise advice. But those are the things I hear the most with shop owners. They do off-site stuff, whether it's I don't know, whatever, go-kart racing in cities or just whatever, birthday parties. They have a lot of them have a weekly lunch. They'll shut the shop down at 12 on Friday, and that's it. Everybody just sits and have a lunch, and they'll have bring barbecue in or whatever. But yeah, so but basically just staying in touch with your team members' lives, and they know that you're there to help them. Speaking of team members, the one of the biggest things I hear everywhere I go, anywhere with any of the events, and I go to a lot of events in the auto repair industry, is the tech shortage. Is there any advice that you can give on how to find, hire, and retain good techs besides, good culture after you find one?
I really don't have anything. In this small of area, it's just really slim pickings. So
Hmm.
you got to just hope one's going to move to town or get lucky and one's unhappy somewhere and wants to move over to where you're at.
Hmm.
And that's why I've tried to maintain my reputation and taking care of people and I guess God just works out the rest for you.
There you go. That's usually how it works. So, how about money? No shop's going to make it 27 years without handling finances correctly, right?
Yeah.
Any tips there?
Um, I don't know. People get into business early and think I'm a business owner. It looks like all this money's coming in, and so they spend a little bit more than they probably should. However, it's really kind of hard to make money, especially in the first 5 years, and kind of get things paid down and get your business established. And so, just save everything you can. And I've never been like a wasteful person, but after I started taking Dave Ramsey, I've learned that I almost did 90% of his stuff that he talked about doing before I even took his class.
Right.
So that was pretty good. My parents really helped me out there quite a bit.
Dave Ramsey, he's the oh, okay, yeah, I've heard that name.
Yeah.
The guy, yeah, he uh business advice, yep, I guess. Coaching.
Yep. Yep. And I took some of his coaching classes for a while, and there was a bunch of different business owners. They got together and just talked about ideas and this and that, and it was a good deal for me. But I just didn't have the hour a day to sit down after a while and go through all that stuff with people.
Yeah.
And I learned some good ideas from them, which kind of took my business to the next level.
Mhm.
I have hired another business coach, and he helped me kind of get my second shop off the ground after it was already going. I hired him.
Okay.
So
I would mention I would imagine that we contacted you through Vision. Are you going? Did you pretty much go every year?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, this year we're not going quite to the extent we have in the past. We've done the whole ball of wax in the past.
Right.
However, we kind of looked at some of the classes, and with the economy kind of tight and people aren't doing quite everything we want to recommend like they used to, why
Hmm.
we just cut back a little bit on just took the classes that really applied and we really wanted.
Yeah. So for those listeners who have never heard of Vision, that would be the largest trade show for the auto repair industry in North America. Uh, SEMA is a zoo. uh, Vision is in the heartland of America. They have church services there, unlike SEMA, and it's a different atmosphere. But it is the largest show. It's under the Milwaukee Midwest Auto Care Alliance. So I imagine are you a Milwaukee member or yeah?
I'm actually not. I'm far
Okay.
away from it. It just kind of doesn't benefit me a lot to do that, I don't think.
Okay.
But I might be wrong too. I haven't looked into it a lot.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, if anybody hasn't heard of it, it's in March every year. So just go, I think it's visionkc.org. But check it out. The training there is second to none. And then it's got one of the largest trade show floors for vendors. I'm there every year. So just to be my third year. So, so definitely check that out. The training for your managers and technicians and yourself is second to none at Vision. So usually, I mean, you said you kind of learned as you went, but I mean, what were like the biggest challenges that you think that you had? Was it
Um,
every business has challenges, you know?
right. Probably um, personnel have been a little difficult here and there. Um, while I was going to Votech my second year, I hired a kid that was graduating, and he had just graduated, and so he ran my shop the first or the second year, and then I didn't have to do it at night as much, so that helped quite a bit. But
Hmm.
it was just kind of he was there by himself, and I didn't like quite how he did some of the stuff, and because it was kind of just his shop at that point when I was gone all the time.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
And so, but once I got back and got a handle on things, I just worked by myself for quite a while. But then I learned like I'm going to have an office manager to keep financials and first one that came in, my QuickBooks were really messed up because I really didn't know what I was doing.
hmm
In the background of it, I can make invoices and do that stuff, but
right,
yeah. And so that, and then just kind of working my way through stuff, learning how to make money has been a little bit tough in all aspects of it. Um, a town of 600 people, it is, I found out, harder to make money here than it is a town of 3,500 people.
hmm
And then when I had techs that came from Manhattan, they drove an hour and 15 minutes to work in Marysville. They couldn't make the money they made in Manhattan. So it seems like the bigger towns you get, the easier it is to make money
right,
because of the type of vehicles. When you get farm pickups in here all day that are rusted and bad and carrying all kinds of dirt, and it just takes a lot more work to crank out the hours.
right, yeah, okay, yeah. The 3,500 town. That's you have 3,500 people in the town. Um, I don't know if that's including kids and stuff like that, but all the households and 90% of the business comes from a 3 mile area. So the shops that are in towns of 15, 25,000, whatever, we can just go to Google Maps and go 3 miles around, and that's where 90% of all their business comes from.
Yeah.
And we focus the AEO, answer engine optimization, and large language models into their website for those areas. So, but with the other city that you're in, what's the next closest town? I was just looking at you on the map. I'm like, wow, you are like, you have a lot of,
So I have people to drive from Randolph, which is about 20 miles away or 15, and kind of depending on where they live. And they drive from Barnes and Greenleaf, and all that's about 10 to 15, 20 minutes away. So
oh,
in
Barnes. I saw Barnes Greenleaf. Okay, Barnes Greenleaf. What was the other one you just mentioned?
Randolph, it's south,
Oh, South. Okay.
but I pulled quite a few customers from there. It's just
Okay.
yeah, I got a pretty big target area that I need to take care of. And then, here and there, I got into some specialty stuff that kind of helped out bring more clientele and meet more people. One of those being my uncle bought a hitch company. So he made hitches, fifth wheel hitches to go in the bed of pickups.
Okay.
And so he sent everybody to me because he had a trailer business or still does, and
Hmm.
sent a lot of people to me. And so I got to meet a lot of people that way. And so work on a lot of their trailer wiring on their vehicles or their stock trailers also.
Hmm.
And we do inspections on trailers. There's a pretty um, high demand for skilled labor in the area because of all the trailers they build. At one time, we had, I think, 3 manufacturers in the area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Trailers, and then there's also a big company that builds just all kinds of different trailers and de-icers and farm equipment. And so I've had to, learn to grow so I could pay a lot more to the employees. That way I'm not fighting, trying to keep them all the time.
Yeah. So sounds like you got some good welders that live in your area.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good welders. So, um, so as far as growth goes, and you probably get people coming from a much larger area, 10, 20 miles away, especially now that you've got ADAS equipment.
Yeah, that's mostly body shops. We really don't get individuals for that too much yet. I'm sure
Right.
that'll come someday. But right at the moment, it's just after a body shop gets done fixing something. So, yeah, I've reached out to every body shop within probably 40 miles and let them know, because we had body shops here that were hauling them 60 or 80 miles to get them done on their tow truck.
Topeka, take them to Topeka.
Hiawatha, I think, is where the guy was going, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
guy from Marysville that brings us a lot of stuff now.
Hmm. Oh, Lincoln's to your north. Okay.
Yeah.
How far is Lincoln from you?
80 miles.
Okay, 80. Yeah, that's a little ways. So, so I know this is just conjecture, but again, or maybe some of it is experience, but like risk taking, like there's always risk taking involved in business. Sometimes business decisions, hiring new techs, buying new equipment, stuff like that. Do you have any approach that you take to um, mitigating risk in the business? And
My first backup was my stepdad, and I'm like talking to him and wanting to spend, $20,000, and he's like, and I'm like, hey, if this doesn't work, help me out a little bit. And he's like, yeah, sure. And so I always just had that in the back of my mind, even though I never had to use it. It just gave me the confidence to keep going and taking more risks. And then, got a few years under my belt after that, and then really didn't need to ask him that anymore.
sure.
And so I'm been renting since 2018, my second location in Marysville. And so now I'm looking at putting together, building a new shop there and working through all the logistics and everything it takes to get that going. And so that's been a huge risk, but I've been established long enough there that I know my clientele is solid, and we have a lot of good fleet customers. So it's not going to be a problem getting that going.
Okay, so your first shop was in Maryville or
Yep.
Waterville.
Waterville, yeah.
Waterville was 600 population.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then now you've been able to acquire the second shop 8 years ago. So, customers, any tips on how to, you know, retain good customers? I guess in a smaller town, like you said, there's not much. Um, it's a lot different. A small town market is so much different, especially when us with doing the digital marketing. The digital marketing in small towns is like night and day, of larger towns and larger cities. So, but everybody, shop owners know that customer retention is priority. If you get a customer in, they come once and they go someplace else, that those future repair orders are now going to somebody else. Do you have any um, tips that you have utilized in your shop to make sure that when you get a customer in, you retain them?
Yeah, we do a few things. The first thing I like to do is put women as my office managers and at the front counter. And so they
Okay.
get a nice, friendly, smiling face every time they come in.
Yep.
And um, we do some follow-up calls. So
Okay. Do follow-ups. Okay.
yeah, and that's been pretty good. Let us kind of know how we're doing and get some feedback. Uh, just treat them like I want to be treated, and sometimes I do more talking in a day than I do actually working, and that's just what I feel is part of customer retention.
Okay. The idea of having women at the front counter is a really good one. Women do 50% of the bookings for most car repairs. All of the auto shops that work with us on their websites and digital marketing, we highly encourage them to join Amazing Women in Automotive because that's the organization that's really trying to get that message out there nationally. So, and then that badge goes on the website, and that sends a subconscious signal to the consumer that, oh, this shop honors women in their business. So, anyway, so if you haven't heard of Amazing Women in Automotive, go to the website, have your staff members show up, sign up, or you sign up, for them, make a donation because that's 100% based on donations. That's how they survive. And then be sure that logo gets on your website with that link, and that will help with conversions.
Another thing we do is drop off and pick up vehicles, or we take people to their house and drop them off and bring the vehicle back. Just anything we can do for a service to help them out, and so they can continue on with their day and not slow them down any, and loaner cars as well.
Oh, and you do loaner cars also? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's really going the extra mile for the pickup and the delivery. So
Yeah.
so I did a podcast yesterday with somebody where they got a hospital across the street from them. They go over there and pick up the car, put the loaner in that spot, fix it, and then put him back.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of customers that are employees at that hospital. So yeah, so that little extra mile really goes a long way. How do you feel that training? What role do you think that training and education play in a shop's long-term success today?
Not only keeping them up with technology, which is really handy, but also the when I bring them back from training, we go over like, hey, what did you learn? What would work better? And I'm like making the new ideas sometimes their idea, and they're ready to implement it. If it's their idea, they're more on board. Or I'm like, hey, I heard this, and then everybody's just ready for a fresh change after training, and they're all on board, and it's really been good for us.
Okay.
More, the personnel being on board. The customer really doesn't see it, but anything we can do better, I'm always listening to my people, and I don't just make a lot of changes because things have ran pretty well. But sometimes I know in corporate world they make a lot of changes and they don't really make sense and nobody knows why. And so I try to stay away from stuff like that.
Makes sense. All right, hold on one second. Dane, when you were doing coaching, how important was that coaching, do you think, in helping you?
So I feel like the coaching was very important for what I was looking at the time, to get me to like the next level I'm just struggling to get to. And so, but my main thing is if I don't have the people in place, I don't have time to be coached. And if I'm have to be out the shop working. So as my small rural area, when I just use them to get to the next level, and then I would jump off and work here for a while. And then if I see another level I want to get to and I have the personnel, I jump back on and get another coach and get going again.
Yeah. So are you still in the shop from time to time or
Every day?
Oh, every day. Okay. Yeah. You're real hands-on. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm under the hood a lot.
okay. Your wife, is she the one that kind of picked up the business part of for you a lot or?
No, she's just took care of the home front, and
Okay.
she's a teacher now, and so really don't see her here very often.
Okay. Yeah.
Puts in so many hours at work, but yeah, we got 5 kids, so she just keeps that.
Yeah, she doesn't need another job.
Oh,
I had when I was younger and not so wise, I got corrected on how to ask that question. Do you work outside the home? Don't ever ask a woman with 5 kids, do you work? That's not the right question. So But yeah, 5 kids, that's awesome. So you're raising a big family and there in Kansas. So, and like you said, there's a lot of really burn the midnight oil in those first years, but your wife helped you, make sure that you uh, made time for the kids, which is really important. If somebody has a successful business but they lose their marriage, that's I don't think they're very successful, or lose their health, So there's a lot of different successes out there. So and I think Spirit asked us to be successful in all areas of our life. So any really important management practices. Management is like how you manage the business on a day-to-day level. One of them you already gave us is having women at the front counter. That it's pretty hard to, big burly guy going to yell at yell at a woman at a counter. So I think that's a great management idea. Shop owners that have said they only had men at the front and they got 1 or 2 women, their bookings immediately went up with females. Well, great. They're, half the people who drive cars are women. So any other management practices that would be helpful to our listeners?
Sure, I got some, but I'm just not pulling
Off
any
the
out right
top of
now.
your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know having the women front counter, even some of the guys like just come in and talk for a while once in a while. They just really enjoy them and always get the ones that are talkative and they really just feel at home here and can talk to anybody when they come in. And so that's really helped, some of the old retired people just stop in to say hi a little bit once in a while and then they tell other people about us all the time and so yeah, that's been pretty good.
Any of your prodigy already eyeing the auto repair business? Got any kids that are really taken to it or?
Not yet. I've kind of talked to my 15-year-old about it off and on, but he became a mason when he was, I think, 12.
Oh,
and
wow.
working with a guy, and he's just huge, so he can outwork a lot of other guys that guy hired, and the guy really liked him and just kind of kept on with him, and so he's kind of sticking to that for now. I talked to him about maybe doing something this summer because I was shorthanded, but he really didn't jump on it. So I don't know. The rest of them are kind of young yet, and we'll see where it goes. The youngest one likes to tear things apart, and
There you go. There's a good one.
Yep. So that's one of the questions I ask somebody when I hire them. I'm like, do you just tear stuff apart to see how it works? And I don't find people that do that anymore like I used to.
Yeah, a lot of people, when I ask them how they get in the business, well, when I was a kid, whatever it was, I tore it apart to see how it worked.
Yeah.
That's a common answer that I get a lot. So, Dane, what do you like most about running an auto repair shop?
Kind of feel like I'm on my own schedule, even though I have to be here every day.
Right.
But for the most part, I like today, the doors are open, get to go outside and do stuff, and every day is a new challenge. It's kind of unfortunate that it is such a challenge every day. Once in a while, some of the vehicles we get, however, it's pretty rewarding. And then seeing different people all the time, every day, and that come in the shop, all the customers is just, I really like that.
The people aspect of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. All right, well, listen, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the podcast. So I hope to see you at Vision sometime. If you are down at Vision, please stop by the booth and I'll be sure to give you a copy of my book. So was there any questions that I should have asked that I didn't that you can think of?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Yep, covered all of it.
All right. All right. Thanks for your time, Dane. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
For additional automotive resources and exclusive content, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our episodes. Thanks again for joining us in the driver's seat, and we'll see you next time for another thrilling episode of Top Shop.